Let's be honest, smart doorbells aren't always that smart. You grab your phone, wait for the app to load, and by the time it finally shows you who's at the door, they've already gone. Or maybe you're just standing there staring at your smart display, waiting ages for the video to pop up. If that sounds familiar, then it might be time to change all of that, because there's a smarter, faster, and more secure way to see who's at your front door. And that's exactly what I've been testing. Hey everyone, my name's Simon and welcome to a new video on Bite of Geek, a channel that's all about home assistant and smart home technology. Now, I've been testing out the new SwitchBot Video Doorbell for a little while now to see how well it stacks up as a replacement for my long-standing smart video doorbell. This new offering from SwitchBot is quite a bit different to the usual products you've come to expect on the marketplace, but is it worth paying out for? Thanks to SwitchBot for sending me out their new video doorbell for review on the channel. As always, they've had no editorial input into this video, and you'll get my honest thoughts and opinions about this product. So what makes the SwitchBot Video Doorbell so different to other doorbells on the market? Well, it comes with a separate display panel, ideal if you live in an apartment, or maybe if you've got elderly or vulnerable parents and you want to have the security of being able to see who is at the door before it's opened. SwitchBot claim it will run for up to 570 days from a fully charged battery. Obviously, like with all of these battery devices, your individual circumstances will be different depending upon how you have it set up and how many events it records each day. Additionally, being part of the SwitchBot ecosystem, it can integrate with their smart lock as well. So you'll be able to see who's at the door and easily unlock it as well, all within one system. So before we get into the details of this video doorbell, let's just have a quick look at what's in the box. So inside the box, you have a brief instruction guide, some mounting templates, the doorbell itself, and then the display unit with a plug already pre-wired, and finally a box of accessories. The doorbell itself is a reasonable sized unit, a bit wider than my current doorbell, and it's a modern silver style colour with a gloss black area at the top, which is where your camera, microphone and lights are located. Now, the speaker isn't this bit on the front, it's actually located on the bottom of the doorbell, but you've got a nice big push button on the front as well to ring the doorbell. On the back, you've got a couple of mounting plate connectors. You've got the on-off switch is located behind a rubber cover, and at the bottom behind another rubber cover are two wiring connectors for supplying power only. On the bottom of the unit behind another cover is the USB-C charging port. Now, just to give you an idea of dimensions, it's just under 6.5 centimeters wide and about 13 centimeters in height, which is just a little wider than my existing doorbell. Onto the display unit, which also acts as the ringer. So you've got this large area for the display, but if you can see there, the display doesn't take up the whole area. There's a bit of a bezel around the edges of the display. Below the screen, you've got 4 hotkey buttons for various functions like showing the camera feed, playing the feed as well, and the menu access. Under those, you've then got 2 big buttons, and those are the call button and the hang up button, which nice, big, clearly labeled buttons, which, if you're going to have this for elderly parents or something like that, makes it super easy for them to use. You've got a speaker on one side, and on the other side is a micro SD card slot. Now onto the back, and you've got a removable cover exposing the wiring into the back of the unit. I can't find anything in the manual, but to me it looks like you might be able to wire that up via other means as well. Also, if you want to mount this to a wall, then you would fix the mounting plate here. If you just want to have it on display on a table, then there is a kick out stand on the back as well. You just have to kind of like route the cable through the stand so that it sits straight on a surface. Now, in the accessories pack, you get all of your mounting gear. So you get the standard back plate for the camera along with pre-cut VHP tape. You will get an angled mount and some more VHB tape. You get the metal backplate for the display if you want to wall mount it, and you also get your screws and a USB cable, etc. Now, SwitchBot did also send over one of their solar panels, which will power the doorbell if you would rather do that instead. It's an optional item, and if you've got the ability to locate this in a good position, then this might be a good option. The panel is super small. It's just 11.5 centimeters wide and about 16.5 centimeters in height, and you can kind of like see the doorbell in comparison to this. It's nice and light as well. Obviously it comes with a mounting bracket and a really long USB cable pre-wired. So in terms of specification, well, the SwitchBot doorbell has a 2K HD camera with 165 degrees wide view and a 16:9 head-to-toe view. It's got color night vision, two-way audio. It's IP65 rated, and it has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, and it can take the optional solar panel as well for charging the battery. It runs on 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi and also uses Bluetooth Low Energy 5.0. The display monitor has a 4.3 inch display with a resolution of 480 by 272. There's 4 gigabytes onboard storage, which you can increase to a maximum of 512 gigabytes. Or if you prefer, then you have the option of using the SwitchBot cloud storage. You've got your usual motion alerts and scheduling options, which I'll go through in a moment in the app functionality. And in terms of smart home systems, it works with Home Assistant, Google and Amazon as well. Setting up the doorbell is very easy. I've already got the SwitchBot app installed on my phone, so it's just a case of adding a new device, picking the doorbell and following the on-screen instructions. You put the display into pairing mode, turn on the doorbell and then enter your Wi-Fi credentials. All quick and straightforward. And just a quick test here to see what the response is like on the app and the display itself. And as you can see, this thing is fast and there's very little lag in the video footage as well. Granted, they are right next to each other, but we'll see what it's like when it's all set up in a moment. The display has several buttons on the front, and one of them is a quick response whereby it'll play pre-recorded messages to whoever's at the door, so I think that's quite nice. And if you also have a SwitchBot lock, then there's the ability to integrate it with the doorbell and be able to remotely unlock the door, which is a pretty nice feature. In terms of the mobile app, well, the functionality for the SwitchBot doorbell is pretty good, albeit you've got this big banner displaying the cloud storage trial. I'd like an option to remove that, but unfortunately I can't see any way of doing that at the moment. Other than that, you've got the current live view, and then there's a list of recent events in the lower part of the screen. Then into the settings, and you can configure NFC cards if you want to use those as part of your unlocking. Your auto reply messages, and you can set one of them up as the default automatic response. There's a little plus indicator at the top of the screen that allows you to record your own response if you don't like any of the predefined ones that come with the doorbell as well. You've then got motion detection, and you can set it to all movement that the camera sees, which obviously will consume the most battery. And then you can just specify the individual items like humans or cars if you'd rather do that. For all of these, you can set up a schedule as to when motion detection is active. So if you're at home all day and you just want to have it detect it at night and maybe the weekends when you're out and about, then you can just configure that and copy it across the days. You can also define your detection area, but I can't see an option to define a privacy area. Maybe that's something SwitchBot can add later. You've also got sensitivity options, recording time, and trigger intervals as well. Now, video doorbell theft can be a real problem in some areas, and so there is an option to trigger an alarm on the device if someone tries to do that. So that's quite a nice feature. For the display unit, you've got various options to turn off the graphics displayed on the video feed, as well as things like brightness and the standby time and whether the display stays on or not. As the display panel acts as the bell ringer, you can also change what style of tone you want when someone rings the doorbell, and you've got a mix of 10 different tones available, something there hopefully for everyone. I've got some daytime and nighttime footage now, and these seem to be recorded at 15 frames per second, so not too bad, and I think they both look quite good. Certainly there's a brief second before the quality stabilizes, but nevertheless the nighttime footage picks out colors really well in the low light levels. And next I've got some footage of me ringing the doorbell and Mrs. Bite of Geek answering. As you can see, the response time on the display unit is quick, and the audio is nice and clear as well.
Hello?
I've got delivery.
Okay, could you sleep at the door, please? Thanks.
Okay, thanks. As for notifications, well, I turned up the sensitivity to 8 out of 10, and it picked me up at about 13 feet away, walking directly towards the camera. So not too bad at all. It does pick up vehicles beyond that distance, and that's one reason why I kind of like turn that off. App notifications were a little slower than I would have expected. When the camera picked me up, I was on a 5G connection, and it was a good few seconds later before the notification appeared. I've raised this with SwitchBot. This could be a me thing, or it could be something they're already aware of. So I mentioned earlier that the SwitchBot Video Doorbell does integrate with Home Assistant, but it's only as a video feed from what I can tell at the moment. At the time of me reviewing the doorbell, it wasn't recognized as a device to add via integrations. However, it is very well documented on the SwitchBot website on how to add it via OnVIF or RTSP. To start with, you need to create a camera account in the SwitchBot app. This allows third-party applications to access the feed using secure credentials. Once you've done that, then it's into Home Assistant to add the OnVIF integration, and it will automatically discover the camera. It's just a case then of entering the details requested, such as the camera IP address, which again you get from the SwitchBot app, and also your credentials. And then, as you can see, you can just click on the feed to be able to view it. Obviously, it's not meant to be an always on feed when running off the battery, and clearly if you do that, then you'll drain the battery quickly. You can pick up the SwitchBot doorbell with the display or as part of a bundle with the fantastic Lock Ultra, so that you can integrate them together. That bundle pack is £329.99. If you'd rather just the doorbell and the display, then that is £159.99. I'll have links in the description if you're interested in picking one of these up. So ultimately, what did I think of the SwitchBot doorbell then? Well, as a doorbell and video intercom system, the SwitchBot doorbell is not a unique product in the marketplace. Depending on your budget, you can spend anything from between £70 to £300 and upwards to get a system like that. But certainly the offering from SwitchBot is competitive. What does make this product unique, however, is the fact that it is part of the SwitchBot ecosystem and therefore has integration with other SwitchBot devices. And if you already have a SwitchBot lock, then this is a great way to build on top of that. I've had a smart doorbell for several years, and the original purchase price of that was £20 more than this, and that's without a display panel. So this does also seem to offer great value. But it's not all about price, and the SwitchBot doorbell does provide a good level of functionality. The doorbell is highly configurable and has a decent quality camera on it, even in low light conditions. But like with all these cameras, it's best to ensure they're not facing direct sunlight so that you get the best from them. I was also very impressed by the response time for the display to show who was in front of the camera. Having seen many videos over the years of systems taking ages to display the video feed on an Amazon or Google screen, this is like a breath of fresh air. I do like the display panel mount and powering options. Clearly that's been very well thought out, but equally it caters for both tastes by having the kick out stand as well. It's a smart looking doorbell when installed, and the audio quality is very good as well. Is it perfect? Well, I don't think so. There are specific requirements in terms of maximum range between the doorbell and the display unit, and when integrating with the lock, the same does apply there as well. In use, I didn't find that a problem at all. It's quite a distance, but it's something to bear in mind if you're wanting to locate the display a distance from the doorbell, especially if you have solid walls in between. Some might say that the display could do with being a bit bigger or having a higher resolution, and I get that, but it does its job and it does it fine. Whilst the camera does have a nice wide angle, there are signs of curvature on the lens, and the top to toe ratio may not always be able to see parcels if they're left right up to your door. It is, however, a solid choice for a smart video doorbell, and certainly if you have been looking for something that had the option of a display intercom without having to break the bank, then this should certainly be something on your list. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the new SwitchBot Video Doorbell, or if you have any questions about it, then drop them down below and I'll try and answer them for you. If you've enjoyed the video, then don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help with YouTube's algorithm and means others get to see this video as well. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.